俺はルフィ、海賊王になる男だ。
It's a great day here at Kekfilet's YouTube Patreon extravaganza. I am here today with Andy. How are you doing today, Andy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Kek.
Thank you, thank you. You did really good this last weekend, and I want to say, I want to give some feedback from Andy to Andy, because he's been playing the game since OP05, really?
OP06.
OP06? Okay, OP06, back when Uta first came out, right?
I did have my little Uda starter deck. That's what I showed up to my first level.
And I told myself, man, if I ever get this guy on my channel, I might as well just close it, you know. But here we are, not closing down, pretty legitimate. Andy just does well, and you really started doing tournaments. How long ago was that?
I think my first ever Treasure Cup was in September. And it was September, I want to say in the 20s. Yeah, it was pretty late in September.
So kind of recently, in the last like 3 or 4 months, right? And I mean, I would say average these days is just X3 drop. That is the average for every player.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I think I see that a lot.
Yeah, but especially since 8.5, you've been kind of shredding it in 8.5.
Yeah, I think I've performed really well in the current meta.
Yeah, and essentially really good. And the only 09 tournament we've had so far. And you're going into Nats very shortly.
Very excited for that.
And I would say this is going to be a Lucci guide. We're going to go everything about Lucci and Andy. And you guys aren't used to seeing us in real life, and we're usually at a computer. And I'm going to have us with a border here, like a
you have a little screen. The
graphics.
Leaderboards.
I just revealed now that we are now in person.
Okay. They didn't know. They didn't
know until
they just thought
right
the backgrounds were super similar.
Yeah, in the same place, probably the same microphone. You can just kind of whisper in here. But with that, we're going to go over everything about 09 Lucci and what you think about it, and maybe some other national thoughts. But I first wanted to go over OP09 in general. What's your kind of general thought on, like, week 1, week 2, OP09?
I think week 1 and week 2, a lot of people, including me, were really excited for Blackbeard. But I think overall, Blackbeard has failed, is what I would describe it as a failure to meet expectations.
It's a great deck.
I think Blackbeard is an extremely good deck, but it has extremely difficult to play around flaws, and it just cannot beat Doflamingo. Like I've played a lot of games into really good Doflamingo players, and the only games I've ever won were due to me high rolling and them extreme low rolling.
Yeah.
Like if it's a normal standard game of One Piece, Blackbeard is more or less guaranteed to lose. Yeah,
exactly. They have to kind of troll or not know what to do at all.
Yeah, they have to not know anything, which is just not realistic in a lot of settings.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird bait, because it was kind of the same thing at the very beginning of 09 in Asia. Blackbeard was not popular. People figured out the deck list, like, oh, did that help anything? But like they would start winning against Blue Dofis, but those Blue Dofis were just trolling.
I remember seeing the Japanese videos and being like, wow, I wish I was in Japan right now.
Yeah, do you remember this? I just remember this game, this one game they did, and he plays a dock Q, uses it, and he doesn't swing at the dock Q.
Yeah, there was 3 turns where the dock Q, I'm not sure if we saw the same game, but I remember one game where the dock Q was just sitting there. The Blue Dofi had a searcher. The searcher could have swung into the dock Q, and he just didn't, and the dock Q just got infinite value.
And it's not like he lost by a large margin, the Blue Dofi. He lost by a small margin and making huge mistakes, right? So you could even make a mistake or two as Blue Dofi and do that, but that's going to be probably the most popular deck at Nationals,
I can
right?
agree with that. I think Blue Dofi will definitely be the most represented deck.
And it's kind of funny. People are starting to look at decks like Anel again,
because
Blackbeard is falling off.
Yeah, I think when we go to Nats, I'd be shocked if I see a Blackbeard make day 2. I'd be shocked.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a weird tournament.
I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. But why are you playing Lucci for at least the first week? What's your thoughts on?
So I was really hoping for Blackbeard to work out, and when Blackbeard didn't work out, I thought to myself that if Blackbeard wasn't going to be good, why shouldn't I go back to Lucci? If Lucci is the deck I've had the most experience on, it's what I'm the most comfortable on, and it's what I think is really good into the current meta, which is Blue Dofi. I would say Blue Dofi, Shanks, and Purple Luffy, and also Lucci are all going to be extremely represented decks in Nats. And of those 4 decks, I think I'm most comfortable on Lucci.
Okay.
So I picked that as my choice.
Okay, got it. Well, let's kind of go over your deck list. I know you have
absolutely.
an absolute rainbow. You have no idea what to put in there.
I've got some weird texts. I've got some weird deck building choices. I've got a lot of weird comments about like asking about why I have different choices in my deck.
Okay, well, let's go over all those. On the side, it'll be on the side for anyone watching. But what? Let's go over basically the base. Let's go
through the
deck?
core. So the core of the deck, I think, is always 4 Gecko Moria, Shimeko Shimoria. I love him. I think 4 Jack is necessary. A lot of people are running 3 at the moment, but I think that's completely trolling. I think if you don't see Jack specifically on your 7-down curve, a lot of matchups you just lose.
Okay.
So I think 4 Jack is absolutely necessary. For Lucci, of course, for Rebecca, and for Brooke, I would say is kind of like absolutely necessary.
Staple, yeah.
These are just decks. These are just cards you need 4 of, just flat.
Yep.
And then you get into choices where you need to have at least 1 or 2 copies, but then you get into the numbers of things. So I would say Khalifa, Who's Who, Spandam, Spandine, and Suru are all cards where you can kind of play around with the numbers. Like I've tried 3 Suru, and I decided I liked 4 Suru better. I've tried 3 Spandine, and I've decided I like 2 better. I cut a Spandam just because I would like 4 Spandams, but I think my other tech choices were more important. So I went with 3 Spandam, and I have 4 Khalifa because I think Khalifa is the best 2K. I think it's better than Who's who I'm running 2 ofs.
Okay. It is mostly just because you actually have a body to play, like off
I
of like
actually
Gecko Moria sometimes.
really like Khalifa just because of the cycle. I think I run an extremely greedy list with a lot of bricks, so just playing out Khalifa sometimes helps me a lot.
Okay. Okay, got it. Because it's a key piece deck, right? And then what about your like
And of
events?
course, 4 Ice Ages I think is requirement, and 4 Tempest Kicks.
Okay.
This is, you just have to have 4 of both.
Okay.
It's just necessary. And the other event I run is 2 Soap Sheep. I really, really like Soap Sheep. I think Soap Sheep into Blue Dofi and Purple Luffy is really good. There's been games where I'll play something like Soap Sheep plus Ice Age, and like a leader ability plus Brook will kill Lucci, or sorry, and Lucci will kill
Luffy Taro
Sangoro.
Yeah. That's, I mean, they just they can't run you over anymore if that's the case, right? The next Uta?
And I do run 2 Udas. It's the 2 starter deck 8 Udas. I really, really like this card.
Okay.
Because if you can set it up on turn 2, whether you're going first or second, or if you're going second, you want to play it on turn 1, it gives a lot of value.
Okay.
For example, in my Treasure Cup, I had a game against Purple Luffy where I played Uda turn 1. I was first. So on 3 down turn, I played Uda, and I played a Tempest Kick to cycle. The Uda probably activated her main every single turn. She never left the board, and she activated her main every single time. It felt a lot like Ennie's Lobby, even though I never really played Lucci with Ennie's Lobby. I run a single copy of 6 King Pistol, the 0-cost event. I think it's searchable, it's CP, which is nice, and more importantly, I run more bricks than I would say other Luccis do, so I think it's just really helpful. I run a single Sabo and a single Nightmare Luffy.
You know, Sabo was really impactful and really needed back when BY and also when Lucci's mirrors were needed. Like, it was necessary. But now that there isn't as many as that, I can see that. And then, I don't know. These are both frustrating cards, basically.
Yeah, they're both cards where they have really high potential, but sometimes they just feel like, oh, I guess I'm playing this card because I don't have any other better thing to do. And cards that are just like, oh, I guess I'll play this, feel really bad sometimes.
Okay, got it. I really can't think of any in the matchup. Could you think of anything going forward?
I think meta relevant, no.
Okay, I mean, obviously there's things like Foxy, but this deck beats any off-meta deck, realistically.
Lucci is an off-meta murderer.
Off-meta murderer, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It's not a killer, it's a murderer. It's really brutal how much Lucci dismantles off-meta decks.
Got it. I think we've just covered the whole guide. Before we go, did you have any like things where we can find you guys? You can find them in my Discord. It's just fried rice.
I do talk a lot in Kek Filet's Discord. I talk a lot. I've recently started talking a little bit on Twitter. But no, not really any shout-outs that I can think of.
Okay, no twit longers yet.
No twit longers
So-
yet. I'm still writing those in my little Google Docs.
Okay, yeah, we'll be interested to see if you write like an article, for
A little
for people.
masterclass?
Yeah, masterclass.
Lucci masterclass?
Yeah, I'm sure Flacco will get a hold of that. So, if you guys are watching this video, you've been watching this for like what 45 minutes, learning about Lucci. It was the same like my last Lucci guide I had with Flyest Raven. It was so quick. It was such a fast guide.
Which is fairly straightforward.
It's fairly, but
Fairly
it
straightforward.
doesn't seem like it should be, but it is. But thank
Yeah,
you
I
all
can agree with that.
so much for watching this. If you want any feedback or want to give any feedback, just leave it down in the comments. I'll see you all in the next video.
Thanks again.
Ciao.